through life with an unstoppable force, like they're plugged into something the rest of us can't see. They wake up with fire in their chests. They push through setbacks like they're made of wind, and when the rest of the world feels tired, foggy, or drained, they accelerate. It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's not coffee or motivation or some miracle supplement. It's habits, small, powerful, precise daily habits stacked with intention that create what feels like limitless energy. And if you don't have energy, let's be honest, nothing else works. Your goals don't move. Your focus doesn't hold. Your confidence cracks, because energy isn't just about the body. It's about your state. It's your presence, your momentum, your internal engine. And most people, they run on fumes. They rely on short bursts. They live in cycles of burnout and recovery, crash and repeat. But you weren't born for that. You were built for more. You were built for endurance, for stamina, for sustained fire. But to activate that, to live with that kind of intensity and clarity, you need to engineer your days. You need habits that serve your mission, not steal from it. Most people never realize this. They think energy is a mystery for it to show up. But the truth is, energy is not found. It's created, it's designed, it's built every morning, protected every afternoon, and multiplied every night by what you choose to do and what you refuse to allow. And it starts the moment you wake up. Before you even touch your phone, before the world grabs your attention, you set the tone. Because if the first thing you consume is stress, your nervous system enters survival. And if you stay in survival, energy becomes impossible. You don't create, you react. You don't move forward, you stay stuck. So you need a pattern that protects your power. And that begins with presence. Before the notifications, before the chaos, you take control. You own the first minutes of your day. That might mean breathing. It might mean journaling. It might mean moving your body. But what matters most is intention. You are reminding your system, I lead command. I am not here to survive the day. I'm here to own it. Because energy responds to clarity. If your mind is scattered, your energy will leak. If your focus is fractured, your body will follow. But if your habits sharpen you, if they point your thoughts, your breath, your motion toward one clear direction, you become electric, you become dangerous, not to others, to your excuses, to your doubts, to the version of you that used to stall. And the more you repeat that habit, the faster your system adapts. That's the key. Most people try something for 2 days and quit. But the ones who master their energy, they train it, they automate it, they build it into their identity, because once something is part of your identity, it takes less effort. It doesn't drain you, it feeds you. So you start small, but you start daily. That could mean a hydration ritual that reboots your body, a cold shower that shocks your nervous system awake, a morning walk where your brain recalibrates in motion. These aren't tasks, these are triggers. They flip your switch, they fire up your engine, and if you stack them, if you repeat them, if you honor them, you become someone people can't keep up with. And when you show up like that, the world reacts. People feel your intensity. They respect your discipline, not because you're forcing it, but because you built it into your baseline. And baseline is everything. Your habits determine your baseline, and your baseline determines your destiny, because energy isn't about speed. It's about capacity. It's the ability to sustain effort without cracking. It's showing up with power on a Monday morning and still having strength on Friday night. And to build that, you need more than motivation. You need systems. You need habits that restore as much as they demand. That means you don't just chase highs, you build rhythms. Rhythms of sleep that respect your biology. Rhythms of fuel that don't spike and crash you. Rhythms of recovery, even if it's just 10 minutes of breath work between calls, that tell your nervous system you are safe, you are in charge. You don't need chose to feel alive, because most people, they confuse urgency with importance. They think running fast means they're moving forward, but it's not about how fast you move. It's about how long you can keep going. And if you want to keep going, if you want to win the long game, you have to design for energy, not just outcomes. That means cutting out what drains you, not just bad food or lack of sleep, but mental clutter. Digital noise, people who pull you out of alignment. Every time you say yes to what doesn't serve you, you steal energy from what does. And over time, that leak adds up. You wonder why you're tired, unfocused, reactive. It's because your habits don't protect your energy. They bleed it. But the good news is you can take it back. You can rebuild. You can upgrade every part of your day, one habit at a time, until your life runs on fire instead of friction. You can take it back. You can rebuild. You can upgrade every part of your day, one habit at a time, until your life runs on fire instead of friction. Because the truth is, most people aren't tired because they're doing too much. They're tired because they're doing too many things that don't matter. They're living on autopilot, scrolling, reacting, consuming, comparing, and they call it a day. But they never call it their life. They drift through the hours, but nothing inside them is awake. They're technically alive, but they're not living. Not really. That's not how you build energy. You don't build it by numbing out. You don't build it by checking off someone else's to-do list. You build it by choosing your rituals, the kind that fuel you, that charge you, that make you dangerous to everything trying to drain your spirit. One of the most powerful habits, movement. You want energy, even 10 minutes, even 1 minute. Your body is not built to sit all day, to slump over screens, to shrink and fade into a chair. It's built to generate, but movement is the key. You start your day with it, and suddenly your mind sharpens. Your emotions shift. You stop dragging through the morning, and you start owning it. Not because you hit the gym for an hour, but because you reminded your body who's in charge. And when you stack movement with intention, you change your life. You don't just walk. You walk with a mission. You don't just breathe. You breathe with awareness. That's energy. That's presence. That's how you flip the switch from exhausted to engaged. But energy isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you don't do. One of the most crucial habits for limitless energy, protecting your boundaries. That means saying no. No to distractions. No to unnecessary drama. No to anything that pulls you away from who you're becoming. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're voting against your energy, against your purpose, against your future. And at first, it feels harmless. A quick scroll, a quick gossip, a quick excuse. But energy is cumulative. Tiny leaks every day become a flood. And one day you look in the mirror and wonder where your fire went. But it's still there, under the surface, waiting for you to honor it, to feed it, to protect it. And the way you do that, through standards. You don't rise by accident. You rise because you refuse to settle for habits that keep you low. And let's talk about food, not as diet, but as fuel. Because most people don't eat to energize. They eat to escape. They eat for comfort, for distraction, for the dopamine hit, and then they crash. And then they wonder why they feel slow, foggy, unmotivated. Energy is chemistry. What you put in your body becomes your state. If you feed it trash, you'll feel like trash. But if you feed it power, hydration, real nutrients, you'll feel the difference. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You don't need a strict plan. You need awareness. You ask, is this helping me rise or pulling me down? And you answer honestly. That one question can change the way you eat, the way you move, the way you live. Because limitless energy isn't luck. It's not something the elite were born with. It's a result of choices, and you get to choose every single day. You get to choose to scroll or to stretch, to numb or to move, to delay or to decide. And when you choose power again and again, it builds, not just in your body, in your spirit. You start to carry yourself differently. You stop dragging your feet. You stop apologizing for being intense. You stop pretending to be tired just to fit in with the crowd that quit on their goals, because you didn't quit. You choose fire, and fire spreads. When you show up with energy, with conviction, with discipline, people feel it. They ask you what changed. They want what you've got. But you'll know it wasn't a shortcut. It wasn't a hack. It was habits. It was the boring stuff done brilliantly. The small decisions made consistently. The choice to stay aligned with your vision even when it was easier to settle. And eventually, it becomes who you are. You no longer need to get motivated. You are motivation. You no longer need to push yourself to get up. You wake up ready, because this isn't a phase. This is a lifestyle. This is how you live now. And every time you repeat it, every time you lock in your rituals, your rhythms, your routines, you build a version of yourself that's unstoppable. You build a version of yourself that's unstoppable. And when you do that, you no longer fear the hard days. You welcome them because you've trained for them. You've built a life where energy isn't something you need to find. It's something you live in. It moves through you. It becomes your edge, your clarity, your fuel. And people notice. They feel something different when you walk in. You don't even have to speak. Your presence speaks for you. Your posture, your pace, your patience, your sharpness. That's the energy you've earned. Not by doing more, but by doing what matters daily, relentlessly, consistently. Let's be clear, the world doesn't reward burnout. It rewards consistency. And you can't be consistent without energy. You might be able to fake it for a while. Drink more caffeine, sleep less, hustle harder. But eventually your system breaks, the body shuts down, the mind collapses, the passion fades. And that's where most people fall off. Not because they're lazy, but because they never built the habits to sustain the level of energy their dreams require. But you're building different. You're designing a system where your energy supports your ambition instead of working against it. That starts by getting brutally honest about what drains you. Because every energy leak is a future opportunity lost. If you want to be relentless, if you want to wake up every day with power in your lungs and purpose in your bones, then you need to protect your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. You need to clear the digital clutter. You need to remove the noise. You need to stop feeding your brain garbage and start feeding it vision. Vision is energy. When you know why you're doing something, your body follows. You don't need hype. You don't need pressure. You don't even need perfect conditions. You move because you're connected. You're aligned. That internal compass, the one most people ignore, is guiding you. And the more you follow it, The clearer it gets, the louder it speaks, the stronger you become. But here's the truth most won't tell you. It's not just the big habits that build you. It's the invisible ones. The way you speak to yourself when no one's listening. The way you carry yourself when nobody's watching. The way you hold your standard even when no one would notice if you slipped. Those moments, they define your energy more than any meal plan or workout ever could, because energy isn't just physical, emotional. You can eat clean, train daily, and still feel exhausted if your mind is flooded with doubt, shame, regret, fear. That's why one of the most crucial daily habits is emotional hygiene. Check your thoughts, challenge your beliefs, forgive yourself, let go of the nonsense that's weighing you down. Because energy is momentum, and momentum can't build when you're carrying old pain like it's part of your identity. It's not. Let it go. Choose lighter. Choose now. And here's another habit the high energy people all practice. Mental resets. Throughout the day, they pause, they breathe, they reboot. They don't just run until they collapse. They manage their state because they know energy isn't about doing more, it's about doing better, sharper, cleaner, with purpose. Even just 1 minute, eyes closed, full breath in, full breath out, and your whole nervous system calms. Your awareness returns, your power sharpens. That's the habit most people ignore. Think pausing is weakness. It's not. It's strategy, because we don't run out of energy. We run out of clarity. And once you learn how to reset your state, you can generate energy on command. That's what makes you powerful, not just your fire, but your control of it, your ability to turn it up, to hold it steady, to protect it when the world tries to pull it out of you. Because let's be honest, the world will try. People will drain you. Systems will distract you. Life will pull at your attention with 1,000 tiny hands. But when your habits are locked in, when your routines are non-negotiable, when your standards are personal and non-negotiable, that's when you rise. That's when your energy stops being random and starts becoming predictable, sustainable, legendary. And the more you master these habits, the more you realize this isn't about hacks. It's about alignment. It's not about finding the next trend. It's about returning to what works, the core, the base, the structure that creates flow, power, presence, and resilience. You don't need a new life. You need new patterns. And when those patterns are locked in daily, not just when you feel like it, your energy stops being a question and becomes your foundation. Because the most powerful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They rely on design. They don't hope for high energy. They build it, one habit, one ritual, one rep at a time, and now. So will you?